Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brian and Jackson from the Smoky Mountain Homestead YouTube channel, and today we're going to be planting some of our bare root persimmons and some others, basically starting our persimmon orchard. We did start out last year with one American persimmon and one Fuyu persimmon, but due to some issues that I don't understand, that Fuyu persimmon didn't make it, so we're going to be replacing it with a different variety today. All of them that we are going to be replacing them with today are Asian varieties of persimmons, and one that's a hybrid of an American and an Asian persimmon. So we're gonna get started with the video, and when we first come back, we're gonna be rolling into the past, showing you a tip to be able to keep your bare root trees healthy through their first winter if you didn't have time to put them in the ground. So watch the video and we'll be right back. Alright, so from Willis, it came in a box, this side up, and it seems to be packaged pretty good. It seems pretty tight in there. So let's see what we got. Now Willis Orchards is in Georgia, so it's south of us. I was actually pretty close there this week when I was picking up our new dairy goat, Daisy. Woo! I'll edit that out. So I'm excited to see. This isn't the first set of trees I've gotten from Willis Orchards. So if you can see, it's packed nice and tight. Let's see if that's probably what's keeping it from rattling around. Just set that down there. And looks like they're all together, which is good, I guess. Woo! All right. So it looks like they've kind of come all in one package, which is actually kind of good because that's how I'm going to keep them for the remainder of this winter period. It looks like from an orchard standpoint, they had these buried. A lot of times people will do that with bare root trees. So I'll tell you what kind I've got because I almost forgot myself. So an IZU, however you pronounce that. Not even gonna try this one. It's T-A-N or T-A-N-E-N-A-S-H-I, Tanajaki. I need to work on my my Japanese. Saijo, S-A-I-J-O. A Hitachi, I know that because that's one of the more popular ones. And then this one, I'm just kidding, it's chocolate persimmon. So those are the varieties that I've got. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting these into a container and then putting them actually indoors, similar to what I did with my mulberries, in hopes that they will break their dormancy, because I don't want them to fruit this year. And if these are like any other deciduous tree, they need a certain amount of fruiting hours. So one, I want to protect them from this first winter and give them a long growing season. And two, I want to protect them from the shock of 7A's climate. And if they have a higher amount of time for their growing season, then perhaps they can have that advantage. So I'm just gonna cut these out and see what we got here. It is wrapped really well. I will say I am a fan of Willis Nurseries. I've heard good and bad things, but as far as I'm concerned, they're top notch, especially when it comes to ordering things by mail. I had some pecan trees arrive in good condition, but they did not make it, and Willis fully refunds us. So they're actually sending us replacements for all the pecan trees that I lost. Okay, so there's some kind of gel in here, which is interesting. Probably just to make sure that these roots do not even stand a chance of drying up. So you can see these are all grafted varieties. You can see the graft on all of these. Pretty good. I'm actually pretty impressed. All of them have some roots, which is good. Some of them are more rooty than others, like that one. Yeah, which one's this? The Sao Jiao. That one's got a good amount of roots. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do here in a second. I'm gonna pause it and get right back with you. All right, so I thought I was gonna get through a video without my turkeys bugging me, but they're curious boogers, so they're coming over here. So you can see I've got them all spread inside here in just a regular nursery pot, a 3 gallon nursery pot. This is not gonna be their permanent home. All right, turkey. They really like whatever that goop it was it came with. So now I'm gonna fill it with some nice good soil. So this is a little bit of ocean forest, a little bit of happy frog. And I'm not gonna pack it too tight, but I just wanna make sure that it's all covered and all the roots are in there. And I'm gonna make sure that this stays nice and moist all winter long. And hopefully, and I could be way wrong on this, but it's my experiment and I'll do what I want. Hopefully, by allowing them to break their dormancy indoors, I will extend their growing season and do all those things that I mentioned earlier about having a longer growing season to develop roots and leaves. And all right, okay, I'm gonna bend down instead of stopping the camera. All right, so hopefully this works out. Stinking turkey, you guys can't even see it, it's crazy. Hopefully this works out, and I'll do a video in the middle of this where it's breaking the dormancy. Hopefully you guys have already seen that. And we'll give you constant updates on these persimmons. They're a very exciting fruit for me to grow here, because it was one of those on my bucket list in Arizona that I just couldn't get to survive in the ground. So wish me little. And today we're going to be planting some of our bare root persimmons and some others, basically starting our persimmon orchard. We did start out last year with 1 American persimmon and 1 Fuyu persimmon, but due to some issues that I don't understand, that Fuyu persimmon didn't make it. So we're going to be replacing it with a different variety today. All of them that we are going to be replacing them with today are Asian varieties of persimmons, and one that's a hybrid of an American and an Asian persimmon. So we're going to get started with the video. And all right, the first one we're going to plant is a Rosianka, the hybrid one I was just telling you about. As we were getting ready for the hole, this beautiful moth kind of showed up in the hole. We're gonna let him fly away, but that thing's incredible. Kind of reminds me of the hummingbird moths we had back in Arizona. All right, let's get planting, Jackson. Okay, let's take that thing out of the pot carefully because it's pretty stuck. So this is the only one that we actually purchased this one locally. So it comes with a lot of good soil. Hopefully it's already acclimated to our climate a little bit. Because it's a hybrid of an Asian and an American persimmon, we're hopeful that it does really well here. So we'll probably need to open up that hole just a smidge, or not, huh?
Yeah, it's a tight fit, but it's like a glove.
Nice. So we'll try to keep the nice soil that this thing came with. Just go ahead and pound it a little bit.
Okay.
Not step on it, like pound it, shake it.
Shake it?
Yeah, you just kind of crushed it in there.
I don't know, maybe not.
So lift it back up. This thing has a really nice looking root system.
Okay.
All right, now dig that out. Looks like the soil that they use is a combination of like pine bark and other things. So we're gonna put it in here to get it more adapted to our native soil. We don't want any air pockets. We want this thing to be able to breathe, so
I'm not gonna bury it too deep.
there's our Rosianka. We're going to the next one now. All right, the next one and all the rest of them are gonna be from Willis Nursery down in Georgia. This is a Saijo, I think, S-A-I-J-O, and you can see its root system is established a little bit. We've got some green growth that actually came up during our time inside this winter. So we're gonna put them just firmly in, bury it up. All right, we're gonna put a top dressing on all these, but for the most part, we're just gonna be doing a basic planting and just regular soil. Persimmons do not like amendments, so we're not gonna put any in with these guys. All right, so this next one, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce this, but this is also from Willis Nursery, and it never really did have what looked like roots to me, so if it dies, Willis has a really good return policy. But one thing, it does scratch green, so we're gonna give it a shot. If it starts growing, it looks like it's budding, so I just don't even know where to bury it till, because the roots are like non-existent. All right, so on to the next one. Hopefully they look a little better. All right, so I've got 2 of these. I didn't mean to order 2, but I fat fingered it, I think. That's why I got 2 of them. And out of all of them, these have shown like the least amount of life, and they passed the scratch test though, so they could still just need to be woken up. Well, one of them passes the scratch test, the other one doesn't. So this one passed the scratch test. Let's bury it. I'm gonna put the tag on this one so when it dies I can remember Willis Orchard owes me this tree. Okay. All right, so the second to last one is a chocolate, and you can see that this chocolate, you can see where the graft is right here. And you can see these 2 branches coming out of the graft are the chocolate, and then you've got one below the graft which is actually doing good, and you can just see the subtle differences between like the leaves. You can see how they're two different trees. I'm not sure what they graft onto, but I'm gonna go ahead and leave it just for fun. So let's get this guy buried. It's a very nice looking tree. Now, we've never had a problem with deer, but if we get it, man, that's gonna suck. Yeah. All right, one last one to plant. All right, the last one for now is this Hachia. That's actually one of the more Hitachi, one of the more popular varieties out there. It's an astringent, which means you've got to wait for it to be ripe. Its roots look really good, and so we're gonna get this guy in the ground. All right, all planted. So before I started editing this video, we acquired 2 more Japanese varieties, or Asian varieties. The first of which is the not even gonna try, the Ikikia Persimmon. And the next one, my Japanese is a little rusty, is I call it the Imoto Persimmon. So we added those 2 as well. So we've got the Imoto, we've got those down there. That's our little persimmon orchard. All right, homesteaders, so we've got our persimmon orchard kind of filling in here. Persimmons don't get very large, so we've got their spacing about 12 feet apart, which is probably too close, but we're gonna prune them and shape them to just be small trees that we can enjoy multiple different varieties from different cultivars of persimmons, and hopefully some of them are really good. We're excited to try them. But we'll update you guys on our channel with the progress of this orchard. Jackson's out there just putting a little bit of mulch on these guys to give them a little bit of a water retention assist. It's been a very wet winter, but we want to make sure. I think the reason our fuyu died was because of the drought, but we'll find out. So catch you on the next video. Please subscribe. We really appreciate all the new subscribers, and we appreciate you coming back and watching our videos in the future. So until next time.